Welcome to the Real Estate Rundown. We got a lot to talk about today. So there was a big crash. Instagram, Facebook, it was down for hours. Twitter was blowing up with people checking the status. Everybody thought that they had been hacked.
Yeah, I was getting pissed over there. You were like, calm down. I'm like, why are you even on Facebook? I'm like, because there was like some password thing, and I can't get in, and it was like,
I got booted,
tripping me out. And then the Instagram, I'm like, man, someone's hacking me.
Yeah, you totally thought you were being hacked. Jason's like, can you get into your Facebook? And it was early. It was like 8:30.
That's what I heard, is that they were trying to basically get into, all the to Meta and get credit cards, right? So all the ad accounts.
Yikes.
Yikes.
I don't know. Like I said, I'll have to verify that with a source, but that's what I saw and heard.
Well, no doubt. Socials were down for a few hours.
Yep.
And it brings up a good point. If you are a realtor and you lead generate on socials for business and they go down, what does that mean for you?
That means you don't have any sales, right?
That means no CRM.
Yeah.
CRM's down.
It really is like a CRM.
It absolutely is.
Yeah, it's like the best CRM ever.
Yes.
Yes.
Sophisticated, modern CRM.
It's your customer relations
manager.
And they're all on it.
All
your customers are on
Daily.
it. Yeah. So, okay, but for real though, many of us use it as a CRM, which is great, just a tool in your tool belt. But in the event that it goes down, or like if you're Glenda Baker and her Instagram was shut down for 3 weeks.
Which somebody like her, I mean, what does she have on her IG? Probably 500,000?
I don't know, but a lot. So the point is though, is you have to have a contingency plan.
You gotta have your own lists, right?
You gotta have your own list.
You have your own CRM.
So
sounds like what we talk about all the time.
Elliot, can you give us a little advice?
Wow, we're gonna jump into that.
Yeah,
already?
like go for it, man. Like build that list. Talk about top of funnel.
Well, I mean, there's so many activities out there now. I think that I had 2 sessions with our Zoodealio members the last 2 days, and one of the things I was talking about yesterday is actually, quite honestly, how jealous I am of agents today that are getting into the business. You guys can absolutely relate. When we used to do our prospecting call sessions, it was like files, like literally paper files, like an accordion system, the way it worked. Like I remember, like Top Producer came out. Remember how much of a pain in the butt it was to set it up?
I don't remember that.
I love Top Producer and their
and then
market
like you build your
snapshot.
very first website landing page and like.
I loved it.
I started my career on Facebook.
In 2003.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're in the game.
No, I remember getting my BlackBerry and then they'd be like, "Oh, we can get email on our phones."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was like revolutionary.
And then what is text? This is weird. This text stuff sucks because you have to push 3 buttons.
I know. And then think about even Boomtown, right? Like when they allowed you to do searching, and then when they brought in campaigns, they have this new feature, campaigns, that does automatic follow-up for you.
Yes.
Wow.
You can just sleep in and let your follow-up go in.
Remember that?
Well, okay. All of these things have enhanced productivity and helped us do what we do best, and that's serve our buyers and sellers. But the reality is, like going back to your advice, I would be jealous of myself too if I started real estate right now. It's kind of weird.
Without a doubt, here is the beauty of it, right? Let me just give it to us real simple brass tacks. And I know that we've said a version of this a couple of times in some of the last advices. With that said, it is literally a mathematical equation. How many quality contacts can you get inside your contact manager that are valid homeowners, valid contact information? You can see their activity, and then that's ultimately who you focus your efforts on. So meaning that you're sending them something of value that they're opening and clicking on. Are they engaging with your IDX? Are they engaging with your home value? Are they engaging with your cash offer platform? There's a lot of different calls to action that you can have with these people. And then literally that triggers, that's who you call. Like I said, it's an unfair advantage. And with AI and some of the things that we're developing coming down the pike, that's going to be further engaging and really capturing those behaviors and scoring those behaviors for you, it's just going to keep getting better and better and better. And so, again, the last thing I'll leave with that on this advice is actually going back to ChatGPT. And well, I'll even use Gemini, right? Because it's kind of flopped and had a lot of problems recently. they're going to get it figured out, right? And I think chat, just in general, the level of sophistication in these things, in that's going to make in you as an operator, take advantage of that, sharpen your saw now, embrace these things, because it is without a doubt going to be the biggest multiplier in your business, and the early adopters are the ones that are going to smash it.
Okay.
The early adopters and closed with OpenAI.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. ChatGPT.
And of the strategies. The early adopters
Of the strategies.
The early adopters of the strategies.
Yes, of the strategies. Yeah, So I think it was just a good reminder to all of us that we really need to be building our email list. When I saw Facebook and Instagram to go down, I think another cool thing is just like use a mini chat automation on your socials, so that if you have something that you're referencing in a video, you can capture, email address, phone number in exchange for that item of value. And then you can do all of the other things too. So very cool ways to do that. And we talk a lot about those on our weekly coaching calls. Elliot and I do a weekly coaching call.
We've done one or two.
Yeah, we've been doing this for 3 years.
As I said, we've done one or two.
I feel like it's been forever.
I always tell people, hey, the real value in Zoodealio is the coaching. It's like, come for the coaching. I mean, the technology is amazing, but the coaching is it. It's all where it's at. Because if you don't use the technology, what's it good for? But the coaching, they'll teach you how to use the technology and keep you going. So that's good.
Yeah.
Absolutely true. Cash offer coaching.
Yep. So what's going on in the market, Jay? Give us your market minute.
So yesterday, Bitcoin went to the moon.
The moon, yeah.
It topped
and then today,
69,000.
It went to the grave.
To the toilet?
It went to the toilet. So I think everyone in the office, because we all like Bitcoin here, and we were all excited yesterday, jumping up and down, going, woo! And then today it's something like, oh, what happened to Bitcoin?
Dang it, why didn't I buy more today?
Freaking whipsawing. So yeah, but you know what? This is a long game. The Bitcoin game is a long game. So if you're invested in Bitcoin, stay in it. A lot of these whipsaws are, I believe sometimes they're on purpose to get people out, get the little guy out, to steal your Bitcoin and to hold on to it. So when it goes up, you're looking to buy it at a higher price.
Talking about something else that's good to be an early adopter of, no doubt that is one of the things.
Yeah.
And then
there's only so much Bitcoin, right? Too. I think that's one of the things. Like, I mean, of course, I've known that for a bit, but it wasn't like, I don't think it was common knowledge for me, at least when I first started discovering, is there's a limited supply of Bitcoin.
And most people don't understand, well, what does that mean? I mean, there's a limited supply of dollars, right? Well, not really.
Not when they decide to go print some more.
Yes, the federal government prints money and
inflates.
And I just read an article just the other day that we're going into $1 trillion into debt, more into debt in every 100 days right now. So that's like over $3.5 trillion in debt. So basically they're printing that money. That money doesn't come out of thin air. They're printing the money, and what that does is it devalues your money, everyone else's money, everyone that holds dollars. Well, when you hold Bitcoin, there's no way for the government to print more of the Bitcoin. So you're not going to have there's real scarcity, and it holds its value. Now, obviously you see it going up and down and whipsawing all over the place, but it's definitely gonna hold its value and in the long run. So.
Well, I think that one of the things I wanted to weave into this, because I love your market minute, and no doubt we were all experiencing that roller coaster, but I think that today what could have caused some of the downward pressure on Bitcoin was that Jerome Powell released some commentary. And the sentiment is that the Fed may not be lowering the federal fund rate at the end of March.
What?
Which,
shocking.
Not good, because interest rates are topping 7% again.
Mm-hmm.
And the housing market in January started to show some signs of like defrosting.
Yep.
And we know buyers are so payment sensitive that with rates now back to 7,
Yeah.
What's it going to do to the market?
With inflation, with house prices, you have to be conscientious of what's going on. I mean, there is absolutely more month than there is money for a lot of people out there right now. And so they have to pay attention to these things. Like, case in point, I went through McDonald's the other day for the kids something quick. I think I got a 10-piece nuggets, a cheeseburger, a drink, and a fry, and it was $21.
You eat McDonald's?
No, I don't eat McDonald's.
With that physique you have, man?
Right. Thank you for that, Jay, but I'm trying to get it back, first of all. For real, though, I generally don't. No.
Yeah, fast food is not cheap anymore.
No.
It's expensive. I remember going to
get
Taco
all that.
Bell.
Even we know all that, but think about what I just said: a 10-piece nugget, a cheeseburger, a Coke, and a French fry. It was $21.
Jeez, yeah.
That doesn't even make sense.
Inflation.
Yes.
Well, and they're you get the minimum wages are going up, and having to pay people more to flip your burger. So what's going to happen? I think you're going to have more robots. I mean, Elon Musk. There's other company that I think Amazon and Google and all these big companies invested in just this past week. It's called Figure, or I can't remember what it's called, but it's another robotics type of company, and it's $1 billion company already. So, I mean, we're gonna be pulling up to McDonald's, and there's gonna be a robot there.
Yep.
It's gonna be.
They'll have some kind of like
piece
screen.
of metal.
They'll have a screen with a face on it.
Yeah.
It could be Elon.
Hello,
it could be you.
you're
a face of familiarity.
your order's coming, and then you got like the little robot hand you your cheeseburgers.
So meanwhile, Carrie Wheeler, the CEO of Opendoor, was on a Morgan Stanley investor call, and she was talking about basically the penetration of iBuying and the lack of innovation in real estate. And Opendoor's goal this year, considering that we're going to have a low transaction count year, their goal is to double. So they want to get up to 2,000 acquisitions a month. And she thinks it's possible even if we only have 4 million
transactions
resales. And when you look at like innovation, and then you look at the real estate industry, I mean, they make a good point. And of course we see it, and we see how selling your home is really stressful, and a lot of people do want that easy exit. And if the margin for that easy exit is affordable, I think who was it 1,000 Watt that said like the average amount that a seller would give up was like $45,000 to have a quick, easy sale.
And that's a couple-year-old survey.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought that was pretty insightful. They just really believe that the process can be innovated upon, and of course we do too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if there's going to be robots that are like basically providing all of these services, and then when it comes to selling your home, you have to go through this process where, it's,
you don't know anything.
Yeah, it's all uncertain, and we know that that's really stressful for homeowners that are selling. And, most people cite selling their home as one of like the top stressors in their life.
Well, it's their greatest asset for 99.9% of the people. One of the other things, just kind of poking fun at this, is you have an app that you can watch your pizza be made, put in the oven, out for delivery, all these things. This is your $12 pizza or $15, $20 pizza. This is your average sales price in America, $420,000+, right? So these things don't exist. And the other factor that I'll throw in there, this is something, again, I was talking about on the offers training this morning, that I believe often gets looked over, is actually the money saved aspect from the seller. When you can pick the sales time, the sales execution date of like an Opendoor, an OfferPad, Zoodealio, cash buyers can do for you, you're saving money because you're not paying interest during the sales time. You're not paying utilities. You're not paying HOA, right? All of those types of things. And when you really look at the cost of what it is to operate your home, that's money saved. And so those are offsetting costs that I believe a more savvy homeowner are going to pick up on, because again, it's just a mathematical equation. And if the math makes sense and this convenience fee, this convenience factor makes sense, and it helps you get to your goal faster, and it's certain, pretty easy to solve.
I think buyers just don't like. I mean, we were talking to some buyers the other day. They don't like going into houses where other people are living.
Yes. Okay. So I was talking to someone that
it's distracting.
Yeah.
It is. You look at
You
their
see
stuff.
their crap, and then you just like,
You start looking at the family, their
like,
pictures.
You know,
Yeah.
they made bacon in the house the morning before. Kind of smells a little bit of bacony. Like, you know, it's kind
Totally
of
true.
They got you know, there's a hairball on the ground. There's, you know, some spit, some dried spit in the sink.
Gross.
Like,
their toothpaste
just
is
like-
still
Are you
in the
serious
sink.
with that?
no, I'm just saying, like,
Oh.
that's
Those are the
when
things
people
that
are
you
living.
see.
Yeah, I was
When
like,
people are
wait,
living in a
what?
house and you're going to look at a house, like, you don't want to
Yeah.
see someone else's crap and someone else
Especially,
living
like, if
there.
they have animals.
Or do you want to see
That's
a clean vacant house where you're like, okay, I could live with this house. It's cool, right?
I mean, I think the best is to have like a lightly staged home.
well, sure.
That's
Well,
probably the
lightly
best.
staged with people living in it, or I mean, because we have a couple teenagers and we sell our house, man. Holy crap! I'm just like trying to keep them to clean their rooms or
We
or
do
pick up
the-
after themselves.
If,
It would be
if we were to
a
sell
nightmare.
and
We would do the cash plus. in a
yeah,
heartbeat.
if we needed the cash, we would do the cash plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes the most sense.
It makes so much sense. Okay, shifting gears. So there's been a development in the Gibson Commission lawsuit. Now let's rewind. The Gibson lawsuit is the lawsuit that the plaintiff's attorney for the one that got the $1.78 billion judgment. He filed it that day. So judgment came in, then he files this Gibson lawsuit, and I think it's like every home seller in the U.S. Like it's everybody.
Massive.
Right? So they've recently amended the complaint and they've added Warren Buffett's other company, his energy company.
Dang.
And they're alleging a longstanding conspiracy on behalf of Berkshire Hathaway to price fix commissions through the MLS across the U.S. And so what do you guys think?
They're
Is
going
this
after the Buffett.
is
I was
this
gonna say,
overreaching?
He's what, like the 4th, 5th richest dude on the planet?
This
So
has got to be political.
going after deeper pockets.
It's got to be political.
Okay, so shifting kind of same topic, but just a little bit different. So 1000 Watt did a survey of realtors.
Okay.
And what they uncovered is most realtors aren't really worried about the commission lawsuits.
Yeah, 'cause
I know.
most realtors
Yeah.
have their head in the sand.
Well,
Yeah,
okay,
well,
let's-
you talk to most, they think a form is it's just going to require a new
Well.
disclosure.
So 1000 Watt then kind of outlines like, okay, well, if you're not very worried about it, which apparently the average response was a 4.17. So they're not very worried. And
Out of 10, or
yeah, so I'll give this to Colby. He can flash it up on the screen. So 10 was very worried
okay.
Okay.
and 1 not worried at all.
Okay.
The average response was 4.17.
Okay.
So then 1000 Watt goes through basically okay, you're not very worried. So if there's this and you've got this lawsuit and this lawsuit and this happening and the DOJ and the FTC and all of these things, and if all of that just ends up being a nothing burger and things stay the same, then okay, maybe we were a little bit worked up over this and we shouldn't have been. But
Not with the DOJ involved. Not when they were going to
It's
enter
not
into
likely.
a settlement and then they backed out of the settlement. There's no way they would have done that if there was not blood in the water.
exactly, not likely. But they do point out, though, and I thought this was interesting, kind of ties into something that Jason just said, with the political motivations. They did say that a Trump administration could happen before the Biden DOJ or FTC is able to obliterate the blanket offer of compensation. So
Okay.
the political implications of divorcing commissions could ultimately lead any administration to call off the dogs.
You're right.
So there could be some political ramifications, but I also I have something else that ties into this, and it's Zillow. Because Zillow reported a couple weeks ago, and no doubt the lion's share of their revenue is from buyer agent, premier agent services,
Yep.
all of that.
Which is buyer's commissions.
Yes,
Leads.
exactly. So you're Zillow right now, and you're feverishly trying to build your other income, your other revenue
They're
streams.
just going to buy Opendoor at that point.
Or they're
No.
investing in a Donald Trump presidency.
Yeah.
Yeah, I doubt that. I doubt that. However,
Yeah, we'll see.
They
We'll
should.
see, we'll see the corporate donors shift around.
Yeah, like wait a minute.
Yeah.
well, there's no doubt they're doing all sorts of really cool things to try and enhance their offerings. You know, like their listing showcases, and I got to tell you, the Zillow 3D scan is just amazing.
It is
It is-
awesome.
It is
It's sick.
second to none. It's amazing.
job,
Then
Zillow.
They did that immersive experience with the Apple Vision Pro. But here's something that I found to be quite interesting. So we all know that the mortgage attach rate is relatively low when it comes to buyers, agents, and services, right?
Yeah.
But what Zillow reported, here's some things I'm pulling right out of their shareholder letter. 40% of all home buyers start their journey by shopping for a mortgage, and 80% of those buyers don't have an agent yet.
Wow. Okay.
Right? So
40. Hold on. Let's say
so 4 out of 10
don't have a mortgage.
no, they start their
start-
Or
journey.
start
Finding a
by
mortgage.
finding a mortgage.
Yes. But 80% of them,
80% of those people
yes,
don't have an agent.
correct.
Which is about
20%.
So basically, it's 32% of all agents, all
So-
buyers don't have an agent.
Correct.
Pretty much as high quality of a buyer lead as you're going to get.
Yeah, and then check this out. And I thought this was really interesting. So their revenue reporting for their Zillow home loans was, I believe, top line like $22 million in Q4. Don't quote me on that. I have to go look real quick. But here's what I thought was interesting. They were able to attach a mortgage with their premier agent partner 53% of the time.
Holy crap.
53% of the time. And that
That
translates.
is a golden goose for them.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, but goodness gracious, that is gold.
Yeah, and it translated in Q4 of 2023, $487 million in purchase loan originations.
Zillow Mortgage. Zillow Mortgage.
So,
You hear that, mortgage partners?
yeah,
Man.
I think that for far too long, a lot of mortgage professionals relied on the partnership with the realtor, which is great, and as a realtor, we need them and we need a good one. So I love that. But I think it's shifting. And maybe what Zillow is tapping into is this new source of revenue. They didn't set out
Yep.
to be a mortgage company.
But they're becoming a mortgage.
Well, and not only that, like, I mean, the closer you get to the lead, the closer you get to the transaction. And so instead of having to go through the agent,
It's opposite.
they had the lead the whole time.
It's actually the opposite. The closer you are to the transaction, the closer you are to the lead.
True.
Right?
That is
Yeah.
true. That is very true. That's one.
And that's
one of the things we
why
talk about.
Opendoor, OfferPad.
Yep, they get the house.
Is buying the houses from because you can't get much closer to the transaction of being the buyer.
Well, yeah,
So-
you control all the leads.
You
from that
control it all.
We also just have to talk a little bit about, not Opendoor, OfferPad's. OfferPad's new partnership. So they're
I want
now
to talk about this, but it's
so
bunch
they're
of
now
thieves.
they're
Sorry.
now doing a subscription model with
Oh, okay.
agents, and you can subscribe to OfferPad. You get like an introductory rate, complimentary, and then after that, I believe it's $99 a month. And then if you have a homeowner that accepts an OfferPad offer, you get paid a certain amount, and they may also use you to list it. So pretty interesting.
Are they gonna create like a cash offer dashboard too for
I don't
their
know.
subscribers?
They have a certification.
This is just like a Zoodealio type.
Are they going to
of
call it
play,
Zoopad?
huh?
Well, so the CEO of OfferPad released something about how they're just so agent centric and agent friendly, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do remember, guys, when you submit your property and those things, that data to your client, a lot of these companies, they will share with you that they will retarget that
It's-
seller.
Oh, yeah.
Says it in their terms of service.
read the terms of service. I certainly
They
did.
will market to that
Yes, they
client
sure
to the
will.
rest of their lives.
Yep.
They
So-
absolutely will.
And remember that whole bit we were just talking about a few minutes ago, the importance of an email list?
Yep, you're dancing with the devil.
Yep. Remember, every 1,000 people you put into your database, if we look at historical data, the turnover rate is roughly 5% across America. So every 1,000 people is 50 transactions. 50. And if we take the data point that Kayla just said a minute ago, that's half of the people that are selling a house are also going to buy a house. So every 1,000 people, statistically, that's 75 units. Now, how important is that database?
It's important. That is for sure. All right, guys. Well, a lot going on in the real estate world. Hey, if you are enjoying our podcast, take a moment to like and ring that notification bell. Subscribe. We appreciate you, and thanks for tuning in.